So, Dr. Robinson, I noticed in your written testimony, you said that you use she, her pronouns. You're a medical doctor. What's a woman?
It's important for you to understand why I said I use she, her pronouns.
Well,
because I understand that
I'm
there
explaining,
are people.
I was explaining why I'm asking the question, but I'd just like to get an answer to the question. What's a woman?
I think it's important that we educate people like you about why we're doing the things that we do. And so the reason that I use she and her pronouns is because I understand that there are people who become pregnant that may not identify that way. And I think it is discriminatory to speak to people or to call them in such a way as they desire not to be called.
Thanks for that
So
explanation.
it's
Can you
important
answer-
that we respect each individual person.
Are you going to answer my question? Can you answer the question, what's a woman?
I'm a woman. And I will ask you, which pronouns do you use?
Can you
If you
provide...
tell me that you use she and her pronouns,
that-
I'm going to answer you. I'm going to call you Mr. Bishop. I'm going to respect you for how you want me to address you.
I'm just saying, so you give me an example of a woman, you say that you are a woman. Can you tell me,
think that
otherwise,
is
can you tell me what a woman is?
Yes, I'm telling you, I'm a woman.
Is that as comprehensive a definition as you can give me?
That's as comprehensive as a definition as I will give you today, because
see.
I think that it's important that we focus on what we're here for, and it's to talk about access to
I see.
abortion
So you're
care
not interested
and
in
how
answering a
important
question
this
I ask
right
unless
is.
answering a question that I ask unless it's part of a message you want to deliver. Is that right?
I'm sorry.
You're
Because
not.
I was talking and you were talking
Yes,
at the
ma'am.
same time.
I'm right.
I couldn't hear
It's my
you.
time.
Okay,
It's
I
my
just
time to
said-
ask you questions. That's the purpose of it. Is my ask you to uncover things by asking you questions and asking you to respond. So you're not willing to answer a question unless it's part of a message you wish to deliver. Is that correct?
Sir, what I was trying to explain to you is that I had a difficult time hearing you since we were talking at the same time.
All right, let me just see if I can go to Ms. Arambide. Is that a pretty close approximation of the pronunciation?
Arambide?
Arambide? Okay. What do you say a woman is?
I believe that everyone can identify for themselves.
Okay. Do you believe then that men can become pregnant and have abortions?
Yes.
Professor Goodwin, the draft opinion says this, in part. The court has no authority to decree that an erroneous precedent is permanently exempt from evaluation under traditional stare decisis principles. Adherence to precedent is the norm, but not an inexorable command. If the rule were otherwise, erroneous decisions like Plessy and Lochner would still be the law. Close quote. Professor, isn't that inarguably true? Mustn't it be the case that all prior decisions of the court are subject to reevaluation?
Well, it is certainly the case that we have in the legacy of this court, Dred Scott, Plessy v. Ferguson, they fell after Brown v. Board of Education. So the ability to be able to review is important. That's the ability to be able to review. It's another thing when the Supreme Court then strips away a fundamental protection that has been made, particularly given that the justices who may be involved in this leaked draft opinion suggested that they actually respected the precedent and stare decisis associated with Roe, and we were not talking about Plessy v. Ferguson or Dred Scott when they said that they respected that stare decisis.
Well, if those are examples, so Roe and Casey would be equally susceptible to reevaluation as Plessy. Would you agree?
Well, and in fact, they certainly could be and be further expanded, and they have been. So one of the things we haven't talked about is that there is Whole Women's Health v. Hellerstedt, and even just a couple years ago, June Medical v. Rousseau, which this Supreme Court used to further uphold the principles of Roe v. Wade and also Planned Parenthood v. Casey.
I yield back. My time's expired.